Let's go. What up, fellas? What up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boys here from the Knucklehead Chronicle podcast. We are missing Terry today. He's out with his family, doing some family things, and yes, if one of us could take the lead, so I guess I'll be taking the lead, fellas.
All
And
right.
we'll have a damn good show today for y'all, man. I'm well prepared. Started to do everything. We had some technical issues, and your boy E helped
Dun,
us
dun, dun,
out.
dun, 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 dun,
So I get
dun.
now that everybody wears capes, bruh. But you are Black Panther for today.
Hey, yo, I want to just go ahead. Hey, Terry, when you watch this, bro, go ice that shoulder because
Yeah,
your
man.
your form. I don't even know why they didn't adjust your form for you, but yeah, your shoulder is gonna be.
I know
Aching.
why they didn't adjust his shoulder, but we can talk about that later. I know why. And I was looking at everything, but yeah, he gonna feel some pain. I know he's sore.
Mm-hmm.
So getting it, let's go and get
Oh,
into it,
that
fellas.
recoil in that shoulder. Ooh.
How's everybody's week? E, how's your week, brother?
Man, y'all already know. It's crazy, but something that you said to me this morning to make me think um is that, shout out to the people who work. That's all I'm gonna say. Shout out to the people who work. Um, if you have a job, be blessed. Because it could be worse. But thanks for the inspiration, Kev. You
Hey
you
man, I'm
you
here
kind of
for it.
like sparked it and made me get up and say, let's go. You know. So super shout out to the people who work.
Yeah, man. Hey, I work
Right.
two jobs. I know the feeling, bro.
Man.
Yesterday was my break day, I guess you could say.
Mm,
You know, Saturdays is normally a busy day for us.
right.
So, but I'll go ahead and say it. Since I'm already fucking talking, I guess I'll
Right.
say my week. It was supposed to be Q's turn, but I guess since I had a busy week, I had yesterday. We went to go get haircuts. Um, yes, I'm a
All
little
right.
fresh today, so
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah.
My barber set me up. But
Yeah.
after that, man, we took the family out to eat right quick. Came
That's
back,
what's
and
up.
it was just I came back and took a 4.5 hour coma.
Mm,
So I just passed out, woke up, watched some Cobra Kai on Netflix,
mm-hmm.
and we
Mm-hmm.
rocking now. I'm fresh now. I feel relieved.
Right. Right. Right.
So I'm good, man. Q, how was your week, man?
Man, starting from Monday up until Friday, I worked 12s all week.
Mm,
And check
Oh,
gonna be lovely again. Shout out to everybody that works. Cause Monday was what, Labor Day?
mm-hmm.
And for those 12 hours I worked, I got paid time and a half for each one of those
Mm-hmm.
hours.
Mm-hmm.
Plus
how's that saying? Is your right hand, your palm itching?
nah,
Yeah.
nah, it wasn't itching, bro. It's too tired to even itch. But yeah, then follow up. They sent the email out when I got in Tuesday morning. They was like, "Sorry guys, we got to work 12 all week." I'm like,
Damn.
"Oh, so
Wow.
y'all just gonna do this the day of?"
Wow.
So
Damn. Yeah, they
yeah.
hit you, didn't it?
But
So
other than that, bro, like last night I made some homemade ramen. Um, drunk some Blue Moon beers and knocked back Paint a Jim Beam. Fell into a 8.5 because when Kev sent the link, I had to immediately get up out of bed. I was still asleep. I just heard my phone go off.
Right.
I
And
hear
I was
that.
just like, shh. But yeah, after I finish this, I'm gonna do some laundry and go back into a coma.
Hey, I ain't mad at you. Hey. But fellas, as you know what today is? Today, sir, is NFL time. And can
Yes.
I get some music?
Yes.
It is time, fellas. It is time. As you see, I am repping my Eagles. Go, let's fly, Eagle fly. You know, and as we know, we got E. He's up north. He's the
Yes.
East Coast rider. He's a
Yes.
Baltimore Ravens fan. We know you. Terry, sad to say he repping the Chiefs over there. Sad. That's a sad story. We're gonna talk about him on the next show. Q, who you got
Hey,
on this year?
I'm running with. I feel like it's his time, even though his contract negotiations fell through. But I'm rolling with Baltimore this year, bro, because I'm supporting Lamar Jackson, bro.
Right.
I feel
Woo!
like I
Support
get
is
tired of
real.
the people trashing him, man. Like they
Right.
want to say what he hasn't done. Give the man the team, and then he can do what other quarterbacks do.
There you go.
Well, and I watched this on the sports channel, and a couple of analysts have made some really unique comments, and it's not about his gameplay. I think what it is because he's representing himself.
There you go.
The owners, it's him and his mother, as a matter of
Right.
fact, and
Right.
shout out to his mom who's got his back. But I think because he doesn't, him representing himself, he doesn't have the leverage that an
Right.
actual
Agent.
rep or agent would have,
Right. I
and
said the same thing.
that's weakening him. They're saying, well, we're gonna call you bluff,
Right.
and as an owner, you get to call bluffs. And guess what? Here's another thing.
Mm.
This is something that they're holding on him.
Hmm.
Guess what is next year? Next year's draft is quarterback heavy, which C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young from Alabama, who showed out at the end of last night's game, yesterday's game. If y'all saw that, it was a really good
Yeah,
game, by
he
the way.
did. Wait till the end of the damn game to
It
show out.
just crushed my soul. Well, shout out to the Longhorns, yo, here in Texas. But I think that's what it is, fellas. I think it's kind of a simulation of very similar form of blackballing him
I,
for representing himself.
I say the same thing, and tonight it's a shameless plug, but make sure y'all check out what's on E Digger's Mind right here on BS3 TV.
Ooh, it's gonna be
Um,
spicy.
yeah, I'm special guest is going to be, of course, Brian Snow, Snowman in the morning, and Cole Johnson, the co-host of the Snowman in the morning, and we're going to be talking about the Lamar Jackson contract negotiations and the extension, who's looking at who. And I said the same thing, Kev. His mom and him are pretty much the agents in this thing, and since everybody is naming, of course, Deshaun Watson, Patrick
Mm-hmm.
Mahomes, Russell Wilson, they have agents, and it's making them easier to get that money. I don't know why Lamar chose to not get an agent. That's him. I don't know, but it's making it hard for him
Mm-hmm.
to get the bag, so to speak.
I
So
can
we're
tell
gonna
you
talk
why.
about it.
I can tell you why he doesn't have an agent. Somebody put in his head, keep it all in house, keep all that money in
And I
house.
think it's
I
I
think
think
it's
it's
yeah.
his mama.
Oh yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
his mama.
It's
Yeah.
either his mom or somebody in his corner.
Right.
And as Stephen A. said, when you're dealing with in-house reps,
Right.
family,
Right.
friends, of such,
Right.
you don't have that. I'm gonna put this deal on the table, and we getting it done now.
Right.
Only professional agents, such as
It's a
old boy that
respect
reps.
factor.
Yeah, like old boy from he used to represent. He represents a number of people in the
Right.
NBA and
Like
the
Rich
NFL.
Paul, put it
There
this
you
way.
go, Rich Paul. So when Rich Paul puts a deal out there, oh, it's getting done today.
Right. And
When
that's
you
and that's not to cut you off. That's the thing that a lot of people are missing. Like,
uh
um, and I respect Lamar for that.
yeah,
Family first. You see what I'm saying? If I have an uncle that is very good at negotiating, or my mom, rest in peace, if she was good in negotiations or what have you, have a degree in sports agency. I don't know. I would
hmm
I would choose her before anybody else,
yeah,
because she would look out for the best interests of me, and mainly the family. I don't know, but it's kind of hurting him at
hmm
at the same time, because what he wants is kind of hard to get, so
harder
to
to push
speak.
for.
And he's seeing all of these other, like Deshaun and Russell and
Glad you
Patrick
said that.
getting all these good deals and he can't get it. This is why.
Yeah,
And
and glad you
then
said that. Before we go on to the next one, the next subject. I'm glad you said that, which is another thing I really think is hurting him because another analyst said it. You out here with Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson got his own. He's got issues that, and he's getting 250 guaranteed
Right.
money.
Right.
This is guaranteed.
Right.
He's getting a nine. He's asking somewhere up to 230 mil
Mm-hmm.
non-guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
So the 200 out of that, you're probably going to get what? Maybe somewhere around the figure I think they said is 175, 185, somewhere around that range of guaranteed
Right.
money. The rest will come in a bonus or um, something he would have to do, an accolade that he would have to do in order to get the rest of that money.
Right.
So I think his team is playing that card
Mm-hmm.
where, hey, I don't have any personal issues that happened. I didn't do anything. I'm a citizen of this. I'm really a Boy Scout in the NFL when it comes to Deshaun Watson.
Mm-hmm.
But he gets the money. How come I can't get the money?
Right.
And
because
I don't see look, I'm here for it. I want the brother to get his money. But let's be realistic. Is he on Deshaun Watson level? Is the thing,
Right.
and that's what I want to hear y'all talk about because I know
I
Cole got something to say
Mm-hmm.
tonight. Him and
Mm-hmm.
Brian, that's some good
Mm-hmm.
brothers, man. They got some knowledge on it.
here's the thing as far as levels. Lamar Jackson, and I'm gonna reiterate this. Had Lamar Jackson had the team and the defense that Deshaun Watson had, he would be on the level. This Lamar Jackson hasn't had a playoff team yet. They've gone to the playoffs.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
So you surround this man with the necessary parts
There you
because
go.
I feel like they use it. Oh, we haven't gone deep in the playoffs against him also with his money.
Right.
Yeah. Well,
Right.
he's doing. I see him and Jalen Hurts in the same boat. Their teams are using their talent, but the Eagles now have a team around him. I think if you put Lamar on the Eagles team, like Q said, you get the job done.
Right.
Because they're really just using his talent and they got defense. They have a defense. Ravens I've always respected since Ray Lewis time
Mm-hmm.
to have a defense, and that's
Mm-hmm.
been forever.
Right.
So with Ed Reed and the whole squad, I can go on. I can name some Ravens players as an Eagle fan that I've always kept an eye out for Baltimore, especially when we're playing them. I'm like, ooh, somebody bound to get hurt on my Eagle squad, and I don't want to see it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean that's gonna be something to look out for, and I'm definitely looking out for y'all tonight, man. It's gonna be one heck of a show.
Yeah.
But let's get on to the next topic, ladies and gentlemen. So as today, we're gonna go through it real quick. The 9/11 today is 9/11. It's been 21 years since it's happened, and I just real quick, I just want to get off, see how what were y'all doing at the time,
Wow.
and how do you feel? I know it's 21 years. We're talking over 2 decades, fellas. Two
Right.
decades, and it doesn't even feel like it's gone that fast.
Right. Right. If it felt like it was just yesterday,
Yeah.
literally. Yeah.
Like for me, honestly, I was in high school still. Q was still in
Mm-hmm.
high school, and I was at basketball practice. That was my first year away from Mississippi. Me and Q were boys at our at our school, but that same year that I left Greenville, I went to El Paso and I ended up at Delia High School.
Mm-hmm.
And I was at basketball practice because basketball for us we start at we got to be there at 5:45, and then we go practice from 5:45 a.m. through first period that ended at 10. I want to say somewhere around 10:15.
Right.
Um, so, but it was, we had a very long practice, and it was, man, people, we didn't know what was going on. It was on the
Right.
radio on the way, and I'm like, well, what's going on? I was confused. I'm
Mm-hmm.
still a knucklehead at the time. No pun intended. uh, and it was just it was like I don't know, I didn't know how I felt at the time. You know,
Right.
it was real confusing. I
Right.
guess you could say as a feeling, but when this all went down, I was going to my first period. Now we had TVs in the class.
Mm-hmm.
We were fortunate, and we had TVs, and we see it. I'm like, is this a TV show? Is this a movie? What's going on? Like, and I actually got to see the very first tower fall,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, we were shocked. You can hear, man, you can hear pennies falling down the
Mm-hmm.
hallway. How
Mm-hmm.
quiet it was.
How quiet it was.
And everybody, I remember we had cheerleaders in the room crying. We had the teacher crying. We had,
Right.
and I'm still confused, still trying to figure out what the hell is going on. So well, I'm gonna pass it to y'all, fellas. Q, how you felt? What were you doing at the time that this happened?
I was in so what it was, of course, we had TVs in the school too. And they used to just, keep the TVs on, play like news stuff in the morning, trying to keep you up on current events. I was in biology class and we saw breaking news come across there and they show, you know, the first tower had already been hit. And so we watching, everybody was like, oh shoot, like breaking news, bro. We watching a movie, and then we saw the second tower hit and get hit, and we was just like looking, and the principal came over the intercom and he was just like, I hear that this is a real event. You know what I'm saying? America is being attacked, and we all like, oh, and then Kev, you live in Greenville. Here come the jokes flying. Well, we live in Greenville, Mississippi. We ain't got to worry about getting attacked. You know what I'm saying?
And it's funny you say that too, man, because when they said we're being attacked, just like you, our principal came on and said the same thing, and I'm like, are we gonna be attacked? Because we live in El Paso, we're like the number one division, so we were on high alert. We were the number one how do you say infantry or an airstrike at Fort Bliss because we got one of the biggest military bases there, and we have White Sands and everything over there, so which are bases. San Antonio's got 3 military bases, so it was scary for us because I thought they were saying the rumors were already coming in. They're coming over. They're crossing over from the El Paso border, Mexico, and coming into it. So I'm thinking, oh shit. Let me start saying a prayer because my school go get
No, but for real though, we was just looking and like they stopped class and everything. We was in that one classroom for like the rest of the day. And at the time we had some people some students at the school that were from the Middle East or of Middle East descent. And like those kids ended up leaving. When they left school that day, they never came back to school. And come to find out, they were afraid for their lives because they were thinking, "Oh, we gonna get blamed," But it was just like, bro, you're in a predominantly black school. We ain't on that shit.
Well, right. Yeah, you're right. But I guess at the same time, those parents are like, you know what? We're not taking that risk.
That chance. Because, I can understand that.
And like you said, knowing those people, and then we do have a couple of bad apples that would probably, what we call back in the South, janking. We go with the dirty 12s talking shit, and back then those small-minded, group of people would probably be the ones going in on those guys from the Middle East. So
because I had to say Middle Eastern descent because I don't know their nationality or but
it's not like but it's like, but to your point though, it's not like those guys cared. They gonna talk shit,
right?
Regardless.
And they would have probably started calling them Al Qaeda or ISIS, some shit like that. You know how it is.
Right.
Yeah. So, E, what were you doing at the time, man?
So listening to y'all stories, I feel old as shit because you said y'all was in high school. I I was at work, and at the time I was an assistant property manager at this senior citizen facility. And I was on my break. I was on my lunch break, and I went around the corner to this little store that we always go to get food. And they had a big TV. Like when you first walk in and place your order, the TV is like right there, and they had it up. And I was looking at it at first. I'm like you, Quinn. Well, Kev, I thought it was a movie, and I said, "Damn, that's going to be a nice ass movie when it come out." And I'm just thinking to myself, and that's when I saw the news reporters come on. It was like, um, New York, uh, they hit the Twin Towers, and that's when I saw they slowed it down in slow mo, and you saw the
Oh,
plane just diving right into the tower, and I said, "Oh my god, this is real,"
yeah.
you know. And when I got back to the office, that's when the property manager, he was standing in the middle of the floor, and this guy was real short, and he reminded me of a My Buddy doll. And I'm like, Carl, why are you standing in the middle of the floor? And he was like, I got to make a decision. And he was like, I don't know what was wrong with him. And I said, dude, are you okay? Like, get yourself together. And he wasn't trying to let people go home because he was worried about the safety. While going home, they probably can come to Baltimore. And I
Which
said,
they did come fairly
yeah,
close to Baltimore,
close,
hitting DC.
close.
Very,
Yeah,
very.
close to Baltimore. And I said, well, Carl, I don't know what you're gonna do. I hope that you safe, but I gotta go home because at the time I was going out with my son's mom, and his we had to go get her daughter from
Mm.
school, and she was calling me. I was trying to get to her. It was crazy. It was crazy. Um, and when I found out that it was a little jet that came close to, where was it? It was a plane that hit the Pentagon,
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but it was a
it was one
smaller
supposed.
jet.
It was the smaller jet was supposed to hit the White House,
Right,
When it
but
landed, they took it down. The
yeah,
passengers took it
just took
down.
it down.
right,
Yeah, I can't remember where, but it was closed.
It
It was
was
very
it
right,
was
close.
close. It was like at that pencil. It went down in Pennsylvania.
right,
Yeah,
right, right.
and
So
I can understand how scared E was. Like I'm looking at E, and I'm like putting myself in his shoes at the time, and I'm like, you know
yeah,
how that's terrifying shit, man.
right,
Just to know because that plane, the odds, the
right,
odds of that plane going down, and they were smart. They took it down. It went down in the area, but just think, in the odds of that plane landing somewhere was
hmm
man, that's terrifying, man. I don't
and
I don't know how I would have dealt with that where if
and
I
then
was in
we
his shoes.
and then my son's mom's best friend's sister lived in New York, and it's crazy because she was saying she worked in a building like right around the corner from where everything was going on. And when she came out, all she saw was like ashes, people running. It was crazy in New York, and she managed to get home. But I do need to say this, and I don't like him now, but Rudy Giuliani kind of, did a little something.
Yeah,
He did, what a governor. He was the governor, right?
No, he was the mayor
Mayor.
of New
He
York.
was the
mayor,
mayor.
mayor.
He was out there. He was on the forefront, and
Hmm.
shout out to him for doing that. But right
Back
after
then,
that,
yeah,
yeah,
back
right
then.
after
Yeah,
that, I don't like him now. But
no, yeah, it didn't take long for him to, stop being quote unquote America's mayor,
right,
Yeah,
because
right,
we start seeing what Julie like. At this point now, he's just old and senile.
right.
That's all I can,
But he was out there.
yeah,
he
He
was.
didn't hesitate. Um, but then I was looking at footage of who was it? George Bush.
Mhm.
That was in he was in a school, elementary school, reading to the kids. And when the Secret Service came over to him, and said, "Sir, do you know the country is under attack?" And his face is like, "What do I do?" Like
Right.
that. His face was priceless. Like, oh my
But you
Yeah.
know
god.
what? This is some shit that bothers me, bro. So the Daily Show, I don't know if y'all watch the Daily Show or
Right.
anything, but the Daily Show, they send out their reporters and they was talking to Republicans, and a few of them just like, where was Obama doing the attacks of
Oh, I saw
9/11?
that.
Yeah.
And
Oh
it was
my
like
god.
he probably was on
Yo.
vacation. Why wasn't he in the office? I'm like, it was like,
Mm.
what office should he have been in the White House? He was like,
He was
bro,
not
Obama
president.
was not. That
I
was
saw
George
that.
W. Bush, bro.
Right.
Like, bro, y'all looking for any reason to blame this man
Yes.
for something?
I saw it. I saw it, and
That shit bothered me,
it
bro.
was
Yo.
cringy to watch, and at the same time, they just showed how stupid people can
Stupid.
be.
Yeah, and
Like,
uninformed, bro.
dumb.
Right.
Like, what?
You ain't know
What?
who the president was at the time. Like, but
It
just
I,
was a
put it on the black
Republican that was
dude.
the president. It was a Republican that was the president at the time. Joe,
Right.
like I will at this moment, like if you could prove JW to be the next Republican nominee, I would highly support that versus the ass clowns that's lined up right
yeah. So just to end it up on this note, man. This picture here, 9/11, we will never forget, man. It was I still get um very emotional over the day. That day really touched me still to this day.
Right. Right.
And man, we lost so many lives. We lost so many heroes at the same time, including the people that um, put their lives in jeopardy just to down the plane before they hit anything major.
Right.
Um, it's even the movie that I saw about that plane crash was I was touching, and I cried like a real baby. I cried. So
Is
um,
it sad that I'm just not that type of person?
well,
Like,
I mean, it's not
like
for everybody.
it's
Just like just like going into this, and I'm glad I'm glad Q pulled that up because guess what? I myself am still emotional about this.
Right.
Um, it was the first day of school back on Tuesday,
Mm.
and
Mm.
if you looking at this picture alone, I still get emotional. I'm very emotional about this because y'all know this is very close to where I live still.
Right.
And let me take this picture off, man, because man, they had 33 sheriffs and cops around, and I have some things to say about this right quick, and I wanted to discuss this because we still got other topics to go over. Um, they had so many cops available, right, for the school, the high school, and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, there was still a shooting at the memorial, and they should have fried him on the spot.
Mm.
But um, the parents being still on a high alert, still emotional.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of kids still are not going to school.
Mm-hmm.
They don't feel safe. They don't care if those cops are there. And the main reason why, they took too fucking long to get into the school.
Right.
So you had all these cops available, and some of the cops were the ones that were on the scene. So why should these parents feel like their kids are safe going to the school on the first day of school?
Right.
They didn't do nothing then. What makes you think they're going to do something now?
Right.
So, I guess I'll throw this out there. I'll throw this and see what I catch from y'all. How do y'all? Would you let's say it happened in your area, Q? I know you ain't got kids, but I want your opinion on this. If you had kids going back to school, that same elementary school on top of that, high school is not too far away from there, but if you had kids going to that same elementary school, how would you feel about them going back on their first day of school to that same building? E
I'll go.
or T?
Oh, given the fact that my cousin did the last school shooting in Greenville at Coleman back in the 80s,
Mm-hmm.
and them folks showed back up at school the next day like nothing had ever happened. I think I'm kind of like desensitized to stuff like that. And I mean, me personally, I've always had the mindset that I would homeschool my kids. So I mean, because I'm fairly adequate at teaching anyway, and I want to make sure that they are ahead of the curve. Not
Yeah.
saying that there's anything like if I was living somewhere else, I would send my kids to public school. But if I'm here in Mississippi, given what it is, the education system is like now, well, even if I was to live anywhere in the South, I would not want to send my kids to public school simply because of how education is now and how they're trying to dumb down history and stuff like that.
Right.
But as far as a shooting to happen or something, I don't know. I think that would be a joint decision because I'm not having no kids, and not be married. I'm just,
Right,
you know,
right, right. So what you're saying is, of course, you and your wife, would get involved and talk about it and such.
yeah, it would just be,
And I already know my wife's decision. My wife would be like, you know what, fuck that, and she's pretty much on that level to where,
Mm-hmm.
we would probably be homeschooling, being how
Mm-hmm.
this bullshit happens so close. Again, it's like literally 20 minutes away from us,
Right.
and it's I can't I like Tuesday was still in emotion. I cried, man. I still cry because again, if y'all would have seen the show previous to this, I coached against one of those kids and I actually got to meet and talk to that kid. That kid
Mm-hmm.
was really talented. He was a really good baseball player. And to be 9 years old,
Mm-hmm.
and very talented, that kid could go far. Now this kid doesn't even can't even see his future
Mm-hmm.
evolve, which could have been baseball, could have been he's a very bright kid, very talented, very um intellectual 9 year old. The way he talks,
Mm-hmm.
man, he was a joy. It was a joy to see, joy to talk to. Um so like I said, being that, it was so close to me, man, it hit home. It really hit home. So E, what would you do?
I would have to say no, um, simply because, God forbid, it could happen again. Um, so homeschool or finding another school. Now, finding another school, it could happen at that school.
Mm-hmm.
God forbid. But to go back to that Uvalde, no,
Yeah, Uvalde.
because anything could happen. Because I really think that a lot of these shooters or people who do these crimes, they see other people do it
Mm-hmm.
and they want to follow. Like they are
Like a
looking at them
copycat.
like heroes. Like,
Yeah.
man, he did it. I can do it too. Um, and me being a parent, when my son was in school, yeah, I was on him like white on rice. I was on the school like white on rice. Like they called me, I'm there. What's
Mm-hmm.
going on? Fights at the school or stuff like that. I'm on it. You know, but to know that the police department sucked, the the school patrol police sucked. I can't put my child in that type of danger.
Right.
So the right now it's like my wife and I can talk about it all day, and I think she will feel the same way. But the ultimate decision, like, no,
No.
he or
Yeah.
she is not going back there. We
Right.
need to find a school if it's available. If it's not available, you keeping your ass home and I'm teaching you.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that goes for a huge amount of things. Like
Right.
the weight on these parents to send their kids to a school where their classmate or
Right.
best friend or cousin or was killed in that same building.
And
And
the
what was
memories.
promised, yeah, the
The
memories, the
memories.
shock. These kids have PTSD,
Right.
and
To
to
know
send them
that.
back to a school
Right.
that they were, they the community. What pisses me off is that the community was promised a new school,
Mm.
and don't get me wrong,
That
I
new school
voted.
wouldn't have been
I,
built by this time though.
it wouldn't, but there's alternates. You remember Q when I don't know if you remember, but when Lucy Webb, my old elementary school in Greenville, burned, and they sent us to Ella Darling Elementary School.
Yeah, but you got to look at it though. Ella Darden, like what Lucy Webb is, you got Ella Darden that's right there. Like there's 9 elementary schools in Greenville
Yeah,
in close proximity, so it's nothing to bust them to another school. I'm not sure
exactly.
about is it the same
It's
way
it's the
there?
same way,
So
and
that's what
here's
they
how
could
I
have did
feel.
and just split the students up. But then I
Mhm.
think they were thinking about they probably could have been thinking about a capacity issue because also you have a limited number of people that can be in the building to stay up the fire code
And
also.
that can still be managed. Here's my thing though. Even though that school should be burnt, that school should be torn down. That school should be torn down. There's too many memories.
Hmm.
These kids are going into a school that it's gonna hurt them in the long
Right.
run.
Right.
That the PTSD from these kids, man, is still there,
I
it's
mean,
still
that's what
fresh.
all the others because
Teachers,
we got to
you
think
know,
about it though. Um, the schools in Florida, like all the school shootings that didn't happen across the country, all those schools are still open, simply because they're not going to close down those schools. And it's so political about why they're not going to close down those schools, just like it's political why they're not going to put what I'm saying, put a ban on handgun. I mean on guns or change gun laws where you can't go and buy these high powered rifles,
Right.
mhm.
that can do all that damage. And then people want to point to, oh, they just went on a stabbing spree in Canada. Bro, let's just go ahead and be honest. Stabbing people and running off, like, come on, bro. Like that ain't gonna fly down here in these states.
Hmm.
Like it's like a mentality thing. Cowards use those guns like that, bro.
Well,
And
I mean, I get what you're saying. I get the point where you're going with this. But again, being that Texas is one of those states that we as a state really think highly of ourselves. We think
I
decorated.
don't know why.
Everything in Texas is big, baby. But
Everything in Texas is full of
Stars
but
shit
at
too.
but
night,
the
so big
political
and
side is
bright.
terrible. Damn you, E. But the political side is terrible. And but being that it came out of Biden's mouth, the way that Biden said, and I don't get me wrong, I voted for the guy. He's the
Right.
lesser of the evils,
Right.
as I always stated. Being that Biden even said it out of his mouth, the way that he stated it, it was like this is gonna happen now. And we're gonna look out for the kids, and the kids are no longer gonna have to go through this and struggle. No, that's not what's happening right now. That's why I'm frustrated with
Kev,
the
this is
situation.
why, and this is my problem with a lot of people when they listen to what a president says. A president can say whatever the hell he wants to,
Right.
but guess who has to make it happen?
Right.
The government.
He does not have the unilateral power to make it happen. Those senators and congressmen have to make it happen. So stop blaming the man. Like I can blame Trump for a lot of shit, but I have to the people that enabled him to do that dumb shit was the people that were in power, which were the Republicans.
Right.
So if they could have done more, if only for 2 senators, that's what happened. You got Sinema and you got what's his name in West Virginia that holds up most of the shit, because Democrat could have made that shit pass and get done when he said this is gonna happen. But Christian Sinema and Joe Manchin stopped it. Like, I wish people stop looking on the surface. Well, he said this. Well, Obama said he was gonna do this. No, if you have a Congress that won't allow you to do it, there's nothing you can unilaterally do.
And I get what you're saying. I totally get what you're saying. Thinking of the parents, right? And I want to make this clear. You have high power, right? A lot of these parents are looking up to you to get it done.
It doesn't matter.
Again,
you have to know the system.
Hold on, Q. Because again, the parents are looking at this.
I understand that too, but the parents have to be cognizant of the fact of how the system works.
Whoa. There's no way that you can say the parents that went through this tragedy.
Yes, I can, kids, because we still live in the reality of a country that does things a certain way.
No. You're saying that the parents have to. Parents ain't got to do shit. The parents, if my son got killed in that building, and we got a president that says that is going to get done, yet his cousins and best friends and everybody got to go back into that same building to go through this shit again, to go through the memories and the PTSD that's going on. Come on, man. It does not make sense. I get what you're saying, but those parents ain't got to do shit. And I'm speaking as a parent myself. I damn sure would hold it up against a higher power person to get it done. I get what you're saying. That is the how would you say it? It's not even the morale way to look at it. You're looking at it politically.
No, I'm looking at it reasonably, because the person that holds the most power, that holds the most power in that state is the cripple that's y'all governor.
Exactly. You're looking at it from a political point. Mm-hmm. I get what you're saying.
But I'm saying, you say if y'all got it. But if I'm looking at a higher parent,
you saying that those parents have to.
So this is what I'm getting at, Kev, and check this out, because we're about to talk about this ass clown. So now, if I'm on Twitter a lot, we're being blamed as a race because of the actions of one person. We get blamed as a race because of the actions of certain people. All right, so we see that as wrong, correct?
I guess, yeah. I'm trying to see where you're going with this.
So you're saying because this one person that has really no power in your state said, I'm going to try, this is going to stop, I'm going to get Congress to pass this bill, and Congress said no, they threw middle fingers up at him. Certain members of his own party did that because they want to keep guns and stop people from having to.
Right. You're still going at it from a political point, my guy.
But what I'm saying is, I'm trying to get you to see. I understand those people are hurt. They're gonna have their feelings about things. Mm-hmm. But when you sober up, you have to realize that it's not on
these parents, man. You're putting it out there as these parents have to look at it that way. They don't have to look anything that way. Those kids,
I leave it alone because I don't want to. Because I'm looking at it with a clear vision. Even with all the tragedies that I've incurred in my life, I still had to come back and look at it with a clear-eyed view and realize I have to direct the blame at where the blame actually belongs.
Okay, I get that. But at the same time, what kind of triggered me is that you're saying those parents have to look at it that way. They don't have to look at it that way.
I
They
mean,
have what
everybody
they
ain't
have
built
to
like me,
do
bro, and I have to realize that myself.
exactly. So
Everybody ain't gonna look at things the way I look at it.
exactly. So with that being said, those parents do not have to look at it that way. Those parents should still have to go through the tragedy. The parents that with their kids, going back to that school, you know, what they have to do is get out there and maybe look at the voting and everything going on
Right.
to get stuff done within their community. And hopefully the Houston Texans, let's get to some positive stuff right quick. The Houston Texans can bring some shine to it because they actually want to get things done with the new school and everything getting involved. But they also sent football players out there to take the families out to the first football game this Sunday. And shout out to the Houston Texans for doing that, man, because they need that. They need that
Right.
positivity
Right. Right.
and
Right.
things to happen. So the football team is getting new uniforms. This and they're along with bringing the football team and everybody out, they're gonna sit in the skybox and they get everything that they want, everything paid for, everybody, and I love that for them. I mean, the owner the owner's doing some positive stuff in that community. I love it. Hopefully the San Antonio Spurs get involved and others get involved, man. I look forward to this new school being built, and it needs to be done ASAP.
Right.
And
But let's get into the next topic right quick
can
because I know we're
before
short
we
on
start,
time.
can I just say something real quick? Given the situation of the water crisis here in Mississippi with Jackson, and this is what I'm getting to. You know, everybody knows of the water crisis that happened here in Mississippi and Jackson. They're trying to blame Biden for this. People are like the governor, everybody,
I
but
haven't heard
the
that.
yeah, they're like it's on the news. It was like when you hear him talking stuff, they're trying to blame Democrats for this and all of that. Here's the thing: if you have the power in your state, you have more power to control what goes on in your state. If you're the top man in the state, Tater Tot, Tate Reeves, he knew it was bad in Jackson. He lives in Jackson. He knew what the water was like. He did not take none of the infrastructure money to go ahead and start fixing those pipes. So if you see, you know it, you see it on the cusp of something tragic happening and you don't take the steps to fix it in your state, you want to enable it to happen, then you're the problem. Don't direct that blame so you can be absolved of taking the blame. Don't redirect it. And that's just all I was trying to get at, is that people redirect blame when it should be pointed at it should be pointed at the people in your state, not the people on the federal level.
Well, I mean, I go back to saying this again. You're looking at it from a political point. I'm looking at it from the substantial point, which is the actual parent, the targets of the point. And the
Okay.
point is, if I'm that parent, and I have someone of a power, high power, saying that it shouldn't be said. If they can't handle the business, then it shouldn't be said. Now I can see if it was somebody of a high organization like the Houston Texans is saying we're going to get this done, which they haven't, and they have no political power. I wouldn't hold them to that standard.
I
That's
mean,
just my saying. That's my thinking as a
can't
parent.
even stop Abbott
But
from busing people to
so
different cities. So I mean, that just
we
tells you
we
that
we
how
know
our
that. We know
constitution,
that. But
we
we're
know how our
talking.
constitution is set up.
Yes, we understand that, Q. But again, you're pulling out a point from a political point. I'm pulling a point from the substantial point, which is the parents. And that's the whole overall lookout of it. But getting into the topic because we're running short on time. I still want to get to that meat. But we're gonna go to this one right here. Queen Elizabeth. Man, I know you really wanted to touch on this,
Yeah.
and man, so I've learned a lot over the last few days about the monarchy and things of that nature. My wife has even schooled me on this. Shout out to my wife Jen.
Right.
But she's really schooled me on this, and I want to get to some things. And E, you had something to say about this, and also
Yeah,
Q had something to say. Q's got some points. I'm gonna throw it to y'all. I'm gonna throw this bone at y'all, where we're seeing a lot of R.I.P. the Queen as if she's done something for us. And E, you had something to say about that.
right.
Let's go.
So, now before I start, I just want to say, I am with every person, whether you're a political figure, celebrity, or ordinary Joe. I start off by saying my prayers, my condolences to the family. But as I look at this, at 96 years old, she lived her fabulous life,
And say
royal,
that with a capital F.
fabulous, royal life. Now, I'm a history buff. I love history. I love how they put things of, how she became queen, or the next steps. And just like when the Pope died, I didn't know that there was this smoke that let everybody know that the Pope died. It's stuff like that that is very
Mhm.
intriguing to me.
Right.
But I also look at it, and before anybody say anything, oh, here you come with the black and white thing. Other than meeting the Obamas at what's the Buckingham
Yeah,
Palace or
Buckingham.
whatever, right? Other than meeting them, what in the blue hell
Here you
have
go.
she done for black people?
Think on that, folks. I
Don't
want
don't
people to let
don't
that
don't worry.
marinate.
Don't worry. I'll wait. Now everybody can say rest in peace, Queen, because like me, I'm like I said, any celebrity, any ordinary Joe, any political figure within reason,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say my condolences, my prayers going out to the family, because with death, I know it's hard. I know it's hard. At 96 years old,
Mm-hmm.
she has lived her royal, fabulous life. This woman did not have to want for anything. It was at her disposal. Anything she wanted, anything she could possibly do, anything that she dreamed of has happened. She lived a royal life. Tell me, what has she done for black people?
Mm.
You see what I'm
Not a
saying? So
not a
at
damn
so
thing.
this point right here, this moment right here, I'm like, man, how can I feel some type of way?
Mm-hmm.
She
I
all
don't
the
have
way
no
over there in
feelings.
London.
Yeah, like me, I have no feelings about it at all. It's just another
I'm
person
she
died.
over in
So
London. I'm
so let me
and
ask
I
you
feel
this.
that, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna pass it on. When I was looking at the news coverage, which is going to be for 3 weeks, when I was looking at the news coverage, and when they was going down the line and people mourning, did you see any black people in the lineup?
You know what?
Don't worry, I'll wait. I'm looking. I was at work. I was at work. I was looking at it. They had it on. Why, I don't know. Um, I and all down the lineup, is there any black people in the UK? And there
Yeah,
any black people in London? I'm just saying.
There's
There's some, right? I
yes.
didn't see any black faces. So I'm my condolences to Harry, Andrew, is it Andrew, Harry, I don't
Prince
know.
William,
Prince
it's
Harry,
William,
William and Harry.
and there's
Harry,
another one.
Charles
There's
is
another one.
is their father. He's the
right.
king
He's
now.
the king
He's the
now,
king.
yeah.
And that right there,
That whole
that
thing trips me
transformation.
out.
I know he's like, God damn, finally. Like
Ladies and
I'm
gentlemen,
serious. When I heard that she had passed, my thought, sorry God, my thought process was from Charles was finally
Hey yo, and
I
then
am
hey,
the
look,
The
king.
Rock.
But look, that's reflected in his statement he made. He said, "As I take on these responsibilities for the remainder of what's left of my life." Charles is over 70 years old, and he
Now,
just became king.
that right there, a comedian. Sorry, God. The comedian said the same thing. Charles ain't got a couple more lives left in the
Nah,
so
he on his
God
ninth life,
forbid
ain't
if he pass, it goes to
It
he? It
goes to
goes to
William.
it goes to William, because what
it
I
go to
learned is the first son.
right.
It doesn't go to the second or third. It goes to the first son,
First
and
son.
then
Because
the
Harry
next
fifth in
son,
line.
because Harry has a son, so it'll go to his son,
Right.
and it'll trickle down. That trips me out. I like, wow.
Harry fifth in line. Like
So
after
I
Charles is William and his sons, and then you got Harry. So
I'm that person. I love that. I love that. Wow, I didn't know. I'm that person. I'm like to learn the history of it. 1926. 1926 is when she was born. And all through her life, she was the queen.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? And I'm like, God damn. Charles, like, finally, like, he woke up, like, thank you, Jesus. That's my take on it. I'm sorry.
Right,
I'm sorry. That was hilarious, yo. Q, what you got for me, man? I know you got something. Get it
Black
off your
Twitter
chest.
went in. I understand why they went in. But here's my problem with Black Twitter. Snoop Dogg did an interview some years ago about when he was about to when they were trying to kick him out the UK, and he said that Queen Elizabeth stopped them from kicking him out the country, saying he could stay, saying he didn't do anything in their country. So Black Twitter pulls up this and then hit everybody. Oh, we love how people are trying to caveat and try to say, oh, she did this. Oh, she did one good thing for one black person. Snoop Dogg didn't just make that interview. That shit was done years ago, bro. Snoop Dogg looks significantly older now than what he looked younger than what he does now. It's like, don't do that, bro.
Again, like I said, what have she done for black people? Other than that two times, the Snoop Dogg incident and meeting the Obamas.
Yeah,
right.
But what I'm getting
but
at
even
is
at that, like,
what I'm getting at
that goes
is
a little
why
bit
dig that up and then try to attack Snoop Dogg.
That still goes a little bit deeper though, because even though what I see what E saying is, what has she done for black people? She ain't done nothing for our community overall.
Like Janet Jackson, what have you done for black people lately?
Exactly. She didn't really do anything significant for us. She shook Obama's head, met him for a little bit.
He gave her an iPod. He gave her an iPod for a present. They said something about that. He ain't had to give her ass nothing.
I'm just saying. So I mean, like, so if we really want to get into it, she ain't done shit for our black community.
Right.
And here we are mourning her like she was Tupac.
Right. I felt. I'm sorry. Could you go ahead?
That's the thing. Like, people, like, I don't mourn celebrities. I don't mourn nothing. If you're not in my immediate family or a friend, I'm not mourning you.
I did cry when Michael Jackson died.
My mom cried like a baby when Michael Jackson died, and I'm like, the hell you?
Because I watched Mike grow.
Yeah,
Mike was like my little brother. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I was coming back from Jackson. I was coming back from Jacksonville, Mississippi. Goddamn, Jacksonville, Florida, and I was in the airport, and when they said Michael Jackson is in the hospital, and I was like, all right, Mike going to bounce back. Michael Jackson has died, and I was watching 106 in Park, and when them niggas cried, I said, I'm in the airport bawling. Mike died. Now that's the only celebrity that I actually cried for.
I actually cried for I cried when Tupac. I cried for Tupac, and I cried for there's a few that I cried for. because
I was
I
scared when
felt
Tupac died.
I was even though I was young when Tupac died, 96, I looked at his lyrics. I was one of those kids that literally would break down his lyrics. And I
Lyrics,
guess
yeah.
that's something I really have a knack for breaking down lyrics and catching them.
Right.
But I took a lot of his music and really I could really his lyrics touched me. So
I
I
was
guess that's what really hit me when like I'm no longer gonna be able to hear
I was
the good
I
stuff.
was scared. I was scared when Tupac died. I was in the house, and when I went outside, I just went outside. Someone said go outside. I went outside, and somebody wrote "biggest day in the street." Like, god damn, how many hours it took you to do this? Like Tupac in the middle of the street in chalk.
Mm,
I said, "Oh, it's about to be a black day in Baltimore. The people about to go off." I
yep,
was really scared. And
yep.
when I saw that in the street, I went back in the house. I said, I ain't out here. And then right after I came in the house, I heard gunshots like blah, 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 blah. I was like, yeah, it's about to be a riot.
Yep.
I
Yeah,
mean,
there's a few things that, I try not to be emotional, but I'm vulnerable. I just let it out now. I'm getting to that age where you know what? Onion don't even make me cry, but I'll cry over
Right.
some Free Willy and shit like that now. You
hey,
know.
I don't know, man. Maybe it makes me like I listen to people say they like I don't cry, bro.
Yeah, I shed
But
a little
I
tear,
will
you know.
I will honestly say, going back to Queen Elizabeth, I have no feelings for this.
Yeah, I ain't got
Just
no
to be
feelings
honest.
about it at
Just to be
all.
honest. And it's not based on what y'all YouTubers saying. I just really don't have any, and God rest her soul. She lived a long life like my grandmother who lived 102 years of her life. So
Black,
she's
black,
lived this Elizabeth, has
right.
lived through all,
Right.
70 years of being queen is a
Mm-hmm.
long time, people.
Long,
She lived
long time.
just like what's his name said on his show. She lived through all the Batmans. So but in the royal family they're obviously gonna bounce back. And I went through the rabbit hole looking at all the videos and queen the not queen Princess Diana and things of that
Yeah,
nature.
yeah.
Man, I went down the rabbit hole and whew,
Here go the funny stuff
let's
though.
just say I'm pretty sure, just like that TikTok that I saw, I'm pretty sure Diana's throwing hands with Queen Elizabeth right now.
Hey,
Yo,
here go the funny shit though.
yo.
I see the post City Girls up 5 million points because the side chick became a
Right,
queen.
right. No, the ultimate one was
Wow.
when it's a picture, it's a meme of her hanging off the gate, and she like, Diana,
Yeah.
open these pearly gates right now. Man, I died
But
laughing
black
off
people
that.
don't like Elizabeth, and it goes back to apartheid. It goes back to Diana. For some reason, we as black people was rocking with Diana.
Oh, we was rocking with her because
Hey,
she
we
was
was there.
Yeah,
He was
and
cool.
she
then
was such a
Megan.
kind person, and that's where Meghan Markle is such a kind person too. I didn't even know she came down here to San Antonio until my wife passed it down. She flew in through San Antonio, and she doesn't have her princess title anymore. She gave that up, if
Right,
y'all recall.
right.
And but she came down as a citizen of us. Like
Hmm.
she was in our community, came down here to the Uvalde a few months ago when the shooting happened, and she paid her respects. That woman
Now,
gets a lot of she gets a lot of credit. With just like Princess Diana, it's like she's one of us
Just like
now,
Europe, just like
more than the
UK,
queen.
London and like, just like London and like Diana, they do not like Megan.
No,
So
mm,
fuck them. We'll take her. We'll trade her
right.
for Stacey Dash.
The black delegation will now accept Meghan Markle, and y'all can have that bitch Stacey Dash.
well, Meghan Markle is officially. I mean, she's mixed. She's black and white.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
we'll
that's
take
why
it.
they
So
don't like her is
that's
because
why
they feel
she
like she's tainted.
Right.
We
We'll take.
winning, baby.
Yeah. We'll take.
So real quick, I know we over the time. I'm sorry, Ben. But real quick, I just want to go over this real quick, real quick. The meat of the week.
Yes.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the meat of the week.
And as I said, shout out to Ben and the BS3 Network. Thank y'all for everything that y'all have done for us as a community. We appreciate you giving us this platform that we can share. We do have a few things that we would love for y'all to just go by and either like our stream, sign on to the BS3 Network. You can catch us on all platforms as well. But let's get into it, fellas. This week's meat of the week is none other than
the Memphis shooter. That's right. I now white people can definitely relax now. I know it's a weight off your shoulders because as you can see, and this river cricket is smiling. That the Memphis shooter is black. Now, the funny thing about this, guys, is I knew it was coming. Now we of course we know the Washington sniper was black.
Yeah.
So now we have Mr. Ezekiel. I ain't gonna say Mr. Ezekiel Kelly. Just went on a huge spree. Hey, Kev, put up that map if you can.
Gotcha.
As you can see, it breaks down the times of when it started and when it stopped. And at 8:58 p.m., police arrested Ezekiel Kelly at Hodge Road and Ivan Road and took him into custody. But you can see where he just went around and was just shooting people. Actually, it was predicted that 4 people was killed, 3 was injured, correct?
Yeah.
So I knew it was coming. I knew that for a long time we've witnessed, these shooting sprees, and we're looking at the news and it's saying that it was white people, and we was like, all right, good, it's not us. But now we feel some type of way because this time it is a black person. So Ezekiel Kelly, you look like a river cricket.
Yeah.
With your profile pic and you smiling.
Cause we was doing good, bro.
Yeah, we was
on a streak. We
was on a good streak.
DC Sniper was back. What
right.
The DC Sniper was what?
DC Sniper, but you just made it worse. So you are, sir, the meat of the week.
Can I, and just to show it right quick, I feel like boot that man.
Now they're gonna get your ass in jail, in prison.
Oh,
I need to say
him.
that. Oh, they're gonna get him.
I feel like this is a white man, black facing a black man. I'm just saying, because that smile, like even a smile, like come on, dude. And going back to the map.
Now, I usually don't throw this caveat out there because I feel like it's used as an excuse for all white mass shooters that something mentally wrong with them. That nigga's crazy.
He looked crazy.
And he got to be crazy because and I'm just seeing this. Go back to the map if you can. At the shootings between 4 and 6 p.m., the suspect live streams on Facebook. Now, Facebook need to be shot too. I'm giving a partial meat of the week to Facebook. Yes, I said Facebook because y'all need to. What's his name? Zuckerberg.
Why he out here learning MMA and surfing and shit?
Right. Y'all need to create a situation. Well, I don't know how they would do this. Like if it's like any type of like violence or shooting, y'all need to target that and shut it off instantly.
Instead of demonetizing and suspending my black ass from Facebook, because I said something. Y'all need to work on that.
Yeah, for saying something, on Facebook as mildly as I would put it, you throw me in jail for 24 hours.
Right.
But this river cricket can shoot up a whole fucking block, and you live, and he can live stream that shit. But when I say something like, ass, or you big as shit, but you throw me in Facebook jail with
My black ass, but his black ass get shined for man. You don't sit, man.
Like for real though, I look at some. I'll see Kel post some. I'm like, yep, he's going back to jail.
Yeah.
Because I sent him a message. The Charlie Murphy. I sent him the message. He's a habitual line stepper. Habitually.
And that, I remember that. But yeah. With that being said, sir, I'm gonna need somebody to hit him up in prison because he deserved it, man. He done put us back. He set us black folks back a couple of decades now.
Now don't kill him.
Just hurt him.
Don't do the
break
shake.
some limbs.
Yeah, break some limbs.
Actually,
don't shake him every day.
Because he didn't kill some black folk. He killed some people. Well, I'm not gonna say black. I think he killed a white guy. He carjacked him, or a lady.
Right.
It was a woman.
It was a lady. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
But here's my thing about Memphis, though, bro. How did y'all allow this, bro? How come y'all ain't squatted up and when he's gonna take old bro out, bro? Because y'all would do it if y'all was game banging on somebody. Why y'all didn't squad up and go find bro?
And if you, I know Q, you've been to Memphis. I've been to Memphis.
I lived in
Memphis. This literally happened in that area, in the bad area. So I don't know. I'm just saying, I would have mobbed up.
What happened? Yeah, what happened?
Where's the mob when you need it? Where's the game bang, the real game? Y'all could have been heroes.
Right.
Crips could have been wearing the crown right about now. Some Bloods.
It would have been GDs and Vice Lords, sir.
Yeah, there you go. I ain't up on the gang like that. But
I mean, down in the South, it's mostly gangsters and Vice Lords. Yeah, I mean, some sprinkles of Crips and Bloods and LS-13s and things of that nature. But yeah.
Yeah, so with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get out of here. I'm sorry, Ben. We went over a little bit, and we love you. We just had a lot to say, get off our chest. But we're going to get out of here, man. Until next time, again, thank you, BS3 Network. Follow us, KCP Podcast, Knucklehead Chronicle Podcast. Terry, we'll see you next week. Enjoy your week, and we'll see y'all till next time, fellas. We out.